The conflict in West Asia has intensified further as Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels launched one of their deadliest attacks in the recent years, killing at least 58 Saudi-backed Yemen government soldiers and injuring dozens more in a coordinated barrage of ballistic missiles and drones. The attacks carried out targeted multiple military camps in Yemen's provinces, marking the deadliest single day in Yemen's civil war since 2022. According to the Yemen military officials, one of the worst strikes hit a military camp in the Al-Ruwaiq area of Mari province during the soldiers' morning formation, resulting in heavy casualties. And additional attacks targeted military positions in Al-Abar, Al-Wadaiya and other strategic locations near the Saudi border. Houthi military spokesperson Brigadier General Yahya Sari claimed responsibility for the attack, stating that they were carried out using ballistic missiles and drones in response to what he described as a Saudi-backed military build-up in eastern Yemen. He warned that the Houthis were fully prepared for any further escalation. Notably, Yemen's defense ministry condemned all the attacks and ensured that its armed forces would respond at the appropriate place and time. Military officials described the assault as the most severe attack on government forces since the 2022 UN-brokered truce, which had largely frozen frontline fighting despite officially expiring. The violence also spread across the border into Saudi Arabia, where Houthi attacks struck the southern Najran region. Saudi authorities said that at least 11 civilians were injured, including 7 Saudi citizens, 1 Yemen, 2 Egyptian nationals, 1 Pakistani expatriate and a 4-year-old child. Notably, fires broke out in several parts of the area following the attacks, prompting firefighters and rescue teams to respond. Saudi coalition spokesperson Major General Turki al-Malki accused the Houthis of deliberately targeting civilian areas and violating international humanitarian law, adding that coalition forces would continue taking all the necessary measures in order to protect civilians. And the latest comes as Yemen is increasingly becoming a major front in the broader conflict involving Iran, the United States and Israel. And following the outbreak of the direct US-Iran hostilities earlier this year, the Houthis have intensified attacks on Saudi Arabia and the forces while also threatening regional shipping routes. The rebel group has also announced a maritime blockade against Saudi ports and has previously targeted Saudi oil tankers in the Red Sea. Well, the worsening security situation has also affected global trade, and maritime tracking data shows that shipping traffic through the Strait of Hormuz has fallen dramatically, with only a handful of ships passing through compared to more than 130 vessels daily before tensions escalated. Traffic through the Bab al-Mandeb Strait has also declined significantly, as 8 major international shipping organizations have warned that any tolls or restrictions imposed on vessels passing through the Strait of Hormuz could disrupt global trade and fuel inflation by increasing shipping costs worldwide. And amid the growing crisis, reports also suggest that diplomatic efforts are continuing behind the scenes. Well, according to the international media reports, negotiations involving the United States, Iran and Oman over the Strait of Hormuz are progressing, with a possible agreement under discussion. And US President Donald Trump has also claimed that Iran initiated talks and said that negotiations have made a significant progress, describing a diplomatic agreement as the best outcome for both the sides. Well, the conflict has also impacted the global energy market, and rising tensions pushed Brent crude oil prices above $82 per barrel, while US West Texas Intermediate crude also recorded sharp gains as investors reacted to the fears of disruptions in one of the world's most critical oil shipping routes. Meanwhile, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a telephone conversation with Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in order to discuss the rapidly evolving security situation in West Asia and review developments in the India-Israel strategic partnership. The United States mission to Yemen expressed condolences to the families of the Yemen soldiers that were killed in the attacks and condemned the Houthis, calling the strikes another example of terrorism against the Yemen people. Yemen has remained embroiled in civil war since 2014, when the Houthi seized the capital Sana'a, forcing the internationally recognized government into exile in Saudi Arabia. And a Saudi-led has backed since 2015. But despite years of fighting, neither side has secured a decisive victory. And with the recent collapse of the relative calm and renewed missile and drone attacks, analysts warn that Yemen could once again become the center of a much wider regional of further instability across. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment and subscribe to the channel.